106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Wow!
Welcome back to the Blues Brothers Minute. This is the podcast where we watch and discuss the film The Blues Brothers, 2 minutes at a time. My name is Tom Taylor, and you guessed it, I am, of course, as always, here with my friends Mike DiMaria and Dan Lewis.
Present.
Yeah, you're present.
Yeah,
I'm present.
Can I ask you a question? How does this guy hold down a job?
I don't know. I mean, we pay him a very handsome salary for doing this show every week.
Yeah.
And sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. I guess he's too cool, too big for this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, too cool for school.
Well, so yeah, if you would like to be a co-host on a podcast, we're taking applications now. Mike clearly cannot be bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I can.
We'll see what
I could be crazy as hell.
Yeah. If you have slow creeping, mental, breakdown tendencies.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
I can do that, and I can suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, and
yeah,
I can have halitosis too. I mean, the listeners don't smell that, but it helps with the character.
You could pile the weight of the world on your shoulders needlessly. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I don't know why we bothered with 3 people this whole time. You can cover at least 2 of those slots.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just keep you in the gangly nerdlinger, and you be the
I can be I can be like Peter Sellers in Doctor Strangelove. I'll just do them both.
Yeah.
So what do we got here?
What we got, Dan, that Mike is missing is a nice long set of minutes. This is actually minutes 101 through 106.
Oh, now why are we doing?
Tell
us, why are we doing 6 minutes here, Tom?
Dan, I'm glad you asked, because we decided at the beginning of this show that we were not going to interrupt musical numbers, which can only mean one thing. We are at the set of minutes that encompasses Minnie the Moocher as performed by Cab Calloway and the Blues Brothers Band, minus Jake and Elwood. It's a good set of minutes. It's a good section of the movie. A highlight of the movie, I would say. I know you give 2 shits about this movie by now, but you must admit that this is a very special part of the movie.
Yeah, it is very special. And I was just about to say, you may be surprised to know that I actually enjoy the magic that occurs in this scene for no reason. Like what happens is that they're waiting, of course, if you remember from our last episode, they're waiting, of course, for the Blues Brothers to show up. They're not showing up. They're waiting. Looks like it's all is lost. Then he says, what's his character's name again? I'm sorry.
Curtis.
Curtis says, "You guys know Minnie the Moocher," and then suddenly he turns around, the curtain opens, and everyone's wearing different clothes, has different instruments, everything's different.
Yeah.
They suddenly
the 20s
have
all of a sudden,
fancy,
30s.
Yeah, big band kind of setup.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm
happy for everybody in this sequence.
It is fantastical. Yeah.
I'm happy for Cab Calloway that he gets to have this crazy flashback to his youth.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the band that they get to be all gussied up and part of this cool, weird, bygone era of big band stuff. I think it's super awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm happy for Murph that he once knew a hooker named Minnie Missoula.
I know that one comes out of nowhere. Is that an added line in the extended cut?
No, that's a famous, beloved line.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed in my first dozen viewings of this movie that Murph is such a unflappably positive, eager guy. Like nothing gets him. He's always like super like, hey, this place is going to be awesome. Hey, where's the Bob's Country Bunker? Where's our next gig? Hey,
yeah, he tends to be pretty
I knew
good.
A hooker named Minnie Missoula.
By contrast, McIntyre Murphy seems to sort of downbeat kind of mood most of the time.
He can be either kind of mellow or kind of I don't know though. I mean, you're right. He's concerned about playing to an angry mob that's out there before the Blues Brothers show up or anything. But then when he's playing, and like in the midst of Minnie the Moocher, they cut to him a few times, and he couldn't be happier.
Yeah,
He's just beaming. He's just
he
sitting
loves
there
it.
with his guitar, having a ball.
Now just a little backup. The song comes from 1931.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see that it in the Wikipedia page is inducted into the song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999. That seems like a long wait for that song.
1999?
68 years.
Good grief.
Huh. Well, what is it? What does a song have to do?
Yeah, I would like a list of every song that made it in before that.
Right. Well, maybe it's like the Oscars where they inducted the Oscar equivalent of the English Patient, before that one got
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
And
Or
then
yeah,
this got the equivalent of the Irving Thalberg Award for Lifetime Achievement.
I guess so.
Hmm.
Cab Calloway didn't win anything for Scent of a Woman, even though he had been in Dog Day Afternoon.
Hoo-ah, woolly Julio.
Godfather 2.
Hoo-ah, woolly Julio. There's and so in the song is based on Minnie, and also according to Jet magazine here, 1951, Minnie the Moocher has died. She was a familiar figure in downtown Indianapolis, an 82-year-old woman whose real name was Minnie Gayton. She acquired the quaint nickname of the Moocher by regularly begging food from grocers and carting it off in a baby buggy. She slept.
So wait, the song takes place after she has died?
No, this is from the 1951 issue of Jet magazine.
Oh, okay. This article is saying that the woman that the song is based on has just died.
She slept in doorways, on porches, and in garages. And then during the record-breaking blizzard of 1951, her body was found on a porch, blanketed with snow. She died from exposure.
Oh man,
boy,
that blows.
Yeah. So
even though she had a diamond car with a platinum steering wheel, or whatever it was.
She might have sold it because she was a Kokie.
Kokie will do that to you. You don't hold on to diamond cars very long when you're a Kokie.
Kokie makes it sound like fun. Oh, me? I'm a Kokie.
Me and my friends are just going to go get a Kokie down by the drugstore.
Oh, yeah. You see, we saw Kokies.
We're given to Kokieism.
It's great.
You guys don't Kokie?
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you coke it.
Ding dang doodle.
I do. Every time I see this, as awesome and as fun as it is, and it's great to see them in their white suits and everything and stuff.
Yeah.
You're watching it and then you're like, okay, but this is like either version of reality you consider, like, this is absolutely obviously heightened reality that they've magically become this like 30s band setup.
Mm-hmm.
But like whether the audience sitting there in the Palace Hotel ballroom is watching that or just watching Curtis in his black suit and his Blues Brothers shades and everything, like, are they really actually into this?
Oh, very interesting question. So are they
like all these like teenagers?
What is real and what is not? Are they?
Yeah.
Is it the spirit of the band's performance that makes them feel as though they look like that?
Yeah.
Or is it the?
Or is this? Are we seeing Cab Calloway's or Curtis's feeling about the song as he's doing it? He feels like he's back then. Or is the audience seeing this because he's doing such an amazing job?
I doubt there are any tip-offs one way or the other, and thus no way to determine unequivocally what is going on. But I like to think that they, in fact, magically now have those clothes on. That is what people are seeing, because that is, and this I think would be supported by listener Will Yurkevich's opinion, that this is the greatest ever movie about how much God loves musicians and orphans. But it could be that this is that divine intervention, that this is God reaching down and just in turning water into wine.
Yes. This is the loaves and the fishes. There wasn't any music for the multitudes. And then all of a sudden, there was Minnie the Moocher, performed by Cab Calloway in his prime.
In his prime. And also, although, on the other hand, if it were true that God was putting on the best show possible for the orphans, well, it raises lots of other questions. Why did God make them orphans in the first place? Why did they have to go through that?
Right.
Just to go. This is the classic paradox of these religious, why go through all this trouble if you're going to have to fix it this other way in the end, since you
Right.
are omnipotent. But the other question
Thanks
would
God.
be, if people wanted a good show, would he bother having a Blues Brothers concert at all? Like, why not just have a Cab Calloway concert?
Yeah, right.
Or in
Why are they
fact,
waiting for the Blues Brothers?
bring
And they got
Duke
Cab
Ellington
Calloway
out
right
there.
here?
Yeah, right. Do anything.
Right. Go
Led
down to,
Zeppelin in their prime.
Maxwell Street and pick up Aretha Franklin. Get her on stage.
Aretha Franklin is working at a diner over there.
Reunite her with her husband, who's
One of
already
the-
on stage.
I heard.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Listen to that. Mike's
bravo.
ablazing with Mike's ablazing.
Do we have a caller?
God damn it!
God
just in.
damn it!
You guys got to stop doing
damn
that.
it.
I can't take it when you do that.
Oh, yeah. You just got here, shithead.
What? I can't take it.
You're barking
You
orders
just
at
got
us.
here. Don't tell us what to stop doing. We've been saying
How
"God
dare
damn
you.
it" continuously for 13 minutes and change.
Well, you guys can have the show for the rest of it. Maybe I think the show has jumped the shark anyways. Takes every bit of energy to get on this thing.
Oh my God! How you doing, Mike?
Yeah.
You've had a tough time getting here.
Everything
You all
all
right?
right?
I'm
You
out
good?
of breath. First of all, I thought
Oh,
it was
man,
9
take it-
o'clock. That's my fault.
Take it easy.
All right.
You're
Take
all
it
right.
easy. Take it easy.
We're all friends here.
Everything's
was
all
my
right.
That was my fault. I got a cough that won't go away.
Oh no.
I-
It's probably just the consumption.
It's been into the second month of this cough. Hear that?
Oh, that one. God.
Let's
All
let's
right,
do
what are you guys
this.
talking about? What's going on?
Well, should we just ask him about the reality of the
Oh, yeah.
the Curtis performance?
Ask him that question.
Okay, Mike.
Yes,
This is Tom speaking.
right. I got that.
Cab Calloway, Curtis, and the boys, they're vamping, waiting for the Blues Brothers to show up, and they launch into Minnie the Moocher. And the
Right.
second they do, they are transported into this reality where they
Right.
are in their white suits and everything, and they're the stage is done up like a 30s amazing thing.
Mhm.
Is this purely in the mind of Curtis and or the band? Is this in the mind of the audience there at the
Okay.
Palace Theater? Is this in our mind? What are we seeing here?
You want me to get into it?
Yeah, get right
get
into
right
You want me to
through
get You want me to get right through it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The way I feel is Curtis has not been on stage in some time. He did not expect
Yeah.
to show up there and be on stage. All right. So
Right.
the minute he said, Minnie the Moocher, and they go, yeah, I know Minnie Mazzola, whatever he said. And then
Right.
he immediately, as
See,
soon as he
Mike,
says, hit it, this is going on in his mind. He is now back.
All right.
He's now back to when he was on stage, and that's how he feels.
See, I
Yeah.
like that. Not only do I like that reading, I
Right.
like that Mike can kill himself getting here. He's out of breath. He's dying of consumption, and he brings out this beautiful
The minute.
analysis of the scene.
Yeah, I
The
got to
minute
give
I-
that
That's
credit.
really good.
I had the opposite point of view, Mike, and I can explain my reasoning there. Just if I could briefly go over it again, which is that,
Sure.
like one of our regular listeners suggested, that this is a movie about how much God loves orphans and musicians, and in fact, this is the moment where God touches down and just says, "This show needs to be good," and spices it up. And in fact,
Yeah.
that is what they're actually wearing. Although obviously there's no correct reading.
Mm.
I would say that the audience has zero reaction in terms of like anything weird happening on stage. Like, oh
No.
my God, they're suddenly wearing these crazy.
Yeah,
white
they would go
suits.
bananas, right? That's true. That's a
Yeah,
very
they'd
good
be a little
point.
weirded out.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, who knows what they would do? Because is this not the most controlled and organized angry crowd you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah. Sit on your hands and be annoyed
Mhm.
in unison.
Not since the Bad News Bears let them play has the crowd been this angry and organized.
Let them play.
Yeah.
Let them
Let
play.
them-
Let them
play.
play.
Well, but I think this is in Curtis's mind, and he's transported back to when he was young and on stage. And this is actually, I think this is in his mind, and because this is 1979, he's transported back to his heyday, 40s.
Yeah.
So that's
I kind of
he's-
get that. I feel like in the movie, this is for Curtis. This is for Cab Calloway. And in the making of the movie, this is for Cab Calloway.
right.
Like John Landis in the movie is saying, hey, let's put on a show where Cab Calloway is back in the 30s. This will be awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
This will be a nice thing for old
We'll
Cab
have,
Calloway.
we'll have the band stand up there. Everybody will be it'll be real classy like.
Yeah.
And we'll have the diamond car with the platinum wheels.
Platinum.
With the platinum with
Yeah,
skiddly-boo,
that's
skiddly-boo,
good.
skiddly-biddly-biddly-boo. And this is and this is the whitest crowd you could find too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the whitest 1980s crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
curly headed.
For a rhythm and blues review.
yeah, it is. It's like a
yeah, 5,000 people.
yeah.
They packed the place.
Yeah, if you went on the deep South Side and said, and trying to hawk this show, the Rhythm and Blues Review, they'd be like, "What the hell's a review?" First of all,
Yeah,
You
would you
know.
please leave me alone?
Yeah,
I'm trying
just
to live
leave me
my
alone.
life.
Why don't you leave me alone? Because I actually have the blues.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just got a bunch of
up at these
jive-ass
folks on Lake,
Hasidic diamond merchants prancing
Right.
around isn't going to solve anything.
these people up in the greater Lake Wazapamante area. They don't really have the blues. They've been swimming at the beach all day doing flips off of that water slide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They've been fawning over fake police cars with loudspeakers attached to the top.
All right, what else we got? What else we covering here?
You're
We
probably
love
caught up
Matt.
now.
We love Murph. We love. I think it's funny that Willie Too Big Hall is like really upset. He's like, we almost made it. Like before the song starts or anything. Before they're like, they think the Blues Brothers aren't going to make it, and everybody's really upset, which sort of makes sense in this version because they just want to put the show on and get paid and everything. But in the extended version, like in the version we're watching, there's already been a scene where Kurt has explained to them that all the money is going to the orphanage.
And they were like, "What?"
And they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And but if I kind of like the idea of Willie being upset because now he's sort of like, we're gonna do something for the orphans. We're gonna like make money for a good cause, and now he can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't see that at all.
Oh, okay.
I think when they walked in, they're looking at the room and they're like, a classic. They're in this big, huge auditorium and they got the place packed. So this now has become their biggest show as the Blues Brothers. I think it's like we almost got to play in front of this many people.
So even if they weren't getting paid at all, they would want the experience of playing here.
That's the point of being a musician.
That does make sense. You see, we really do need Mike.
Really? Do you really? But they okay. He was so upset though at Bob's Country Bunker that like that nothing was coming together and stuff. I don't know. I guess, but they like left their cheesy yet paying gig at the Holiday Inn at the Armada Room. Isn't he going to want to? Not just him, but like all of them. Aren't they all going to kind of need to get paid? Like don't they? I mean, yes, it'd be awesome to play a big, Palace Hotel ballroom.
Yeah.
To 5,000 people who are
well, no,
are
I
the
don't
Blues
think.
Brothers
No,
getting
I think.
paid?
No, I think they want to get paid because they were in there with Maurice Line, like they were saying.
Yeah.
That they were saying about, so they know that there's some money to be made and there's, they're gonna get a taste of the gig, or a taste of the door.
Right.
But I don't think. So I don't think they're thinking about the orphanage. I think they're saying, we want to get paid, we want to get to play in this big auditorium.
Yeah. It makes a ton more sense if that scene isn't there, where Curtis tells them, or that they didn't know that orphans were involved in any way, that any cut of this was going to the orphanage.
Right.
Just like, they're going to play the big room, Blues Brothers are back, bigger than life, we're all going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's
Let's just go with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that was in the Louvre.
It all checks out.
That's the one that was in the theaters. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
And then we get the Blues Brothers, and you guys alluded to this before, the Blues Brothers sort of tiptoeing along with the music, even though it's not.
I like that. I always like that.
It's so good, yeah. I got to give it up for this part of the movie.
It reminded me of
That's
the old cartoons where you'd have like the cats.
Yeah.
Like the cats on the
That's very Bugs Bunny.
On the fence, and they'd be like kind of walking, like kind of sneaking.
Yeah, and they even take that kind of stance a little bit with their leaning back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Daffy Duck actually went full Cab Calloway in an old cartoon.
Did he?
Try to find that.
Yeah, try to find it.
Yeah.
You remember the cartoons when they would have like the big bad wolf, or they would have like an angry animal and the chest is heaving and and they had the big teeth and they'd be like salivating and then their eyes would be all crazy. It was like nightmarish.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Cartoons were
But then
nightmarish.
a second later they get all deflated, like, Bugs Bunny would play a flute at them and make them look ridiculous.
So the point was is some of those cartoons, like in those like World War II era cartoons, they were downright kind of spooky.
Oh yeah, they could be definitely. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Real weird.
Even as a kid, I remember thinking, this is a little dark. But I enjoyed it. I wanted
that
stuff
dog's
that
dead.
was dark. I thought it was cool.
Well, you know what really kind of solidified that was the Twilight Zone, the movie, the one with the cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I gotta show that to my son.
That's a good one.
Well,
that is a good one. Yeah, he sends the sister into the cartoon world.
Yeah. That is very
I
scary.
thought that was terrible.
Those are the one. Yeah, that movie did a really good job of like aping that kind of creepy like 30s like really old black and white. What the hell is going on? Cartoons.
Yeah.
And all the
Like,
motion
nothing
was
to latch
weird
onto,
and,
just mayhem.
right. It seemed like a nightmare. Like everything was moving in this kind of like nightmare realm, and everybody had sharp teeth and
for no reason.
Yeah, it was like
Hey,
Nosferatu.
give me something to follow here. This is nuts.
I like that one. I have to go watch that again. And then I remember real gross. The whole thing is kind of gross and it feels weird, that whole vignette. It's like they're eating the peanut butter and pickle sandwiches or something, and it's like it's just all gross
it was something
weird.
Yeah, the family was weird. Like there was something like really like everybody's like
There's a girl
they're all
without a
scared
mouth.
of and they're all scared of the kid.
That's awesome. I feel bad. The original version of that from the show, from the Twilight Zone, I showed that to my son a couple New Year's Eves ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I think that was the first time that I showed him something that actually freaked him out. Like days later, he was asking about it. Like, so what happened to that? Why was everyone afraid of that kid? And like, what happened if you like wish people into the cornfield? I'm like, oh, you're not going to go to sleep well, are you? You're having a hard time. I'm sorry, son.
Well, the kid was a bastard on top of it. Like I remember just not liking the kid. Like
you're
a
bad man.
He seemed friendly up front, but then he's an asshole.
Yeah. Just let your family be.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Let the guy listen to Perry Como. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Jerk.
And also, anytime there's someone has no mouth or no ears or something, and I don't mean like they were in an accident. That doesn't gross me out. That's fine. But like, I mean like when they have like Ken doll's private area, nothing. You know what I mean? Like it just very weird.
Kind of freaks you out. Yeah.
I don't like
you have a Ken's groin mouth. That's what you call that.
He's got the old groin mouth.
For that. Yeah.
That was my nickname in high school, by the way.
We know.
Groin mouth?
Yeah, groin mouth.
Groin mouth.
We had a kid at school. I probably told this story somewhere. That it was a kid at school. We gave him the nickname Sweat Mouth. Did I cover this before?
No.
I kind of remember Sweat Mouth, but I forget why.
I don't remember Sweat Mouth.
And he got the nickname. We were in the gym, and he walks in. He's just like can you spot me? He was a little kid. He wasn't. He wasn't the kind of guy that you would say you would leave alone in the gym because he might hurt himself.
Right.
So he gets in there, and this one friend of mine was going to spot him, but he was all sweaty. And he goes, okay, let's not put a lot of weight on him. Let's just do it. Let's shoot for five reps. He's like, okay. So Sweatmouth lays on the bench, and he does one rep, and my friend's like leaning over, and the sweat from his face drips and it goes right in his mouth.
No.
And he's like, but he couldn't let go. So immediately he was christened the Sweatmouth right for there.
That is not fair at all. That is not fair to Sweatmouth. He didn't do anything to become Sweatmouth.
Well, he became Sweatmouth.
That sucks. Yeah.
And he had a secondary
Poor
name.
Sweatmouth.
He had a secondary name. Well, the secondary name kind of came
Fudge
first.
Ass.
No. So
that was when Fudge fell into his ass that time.
No, it was we had someone close to we had people. No, anyways, we'll get back to we had a term called swamp ass. That was.
Sure. That one I know, swamp ass.
Yeah, somebody else called it.
None of us is a stranger to swamp ass.
And somebody else christened it dorm butt.
Oh.
Dorm because they were always thinking that they put some sort of an additive in the food in the cafeteria to make everything run through you pretty quickly. So it was they called it dorm butt. It's all disgusting. It's all
College is revolting.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
gross.
and you throw in like just small Division II school in the middle of nowhere, Central Florida, and you just
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
it's like my life was just wasted going. But anyways,
Yeah.
so Sweatmouth
Everybody's
had
got genitals.
Sweatmouth was his secondary nickname. His primary, he had a primary right as soon as we met him, because
Sure.
he was this, and he was from I don't know if he was born in the Netherlands, but he came right from the Netherlands. But he didn't have a very thick accent, but he had enough to say something's up with that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but as soon as we saw him, he looked like Sweet Chuck from the Police Academy movies. So his primary name was Sweet Chuck.
Yeah.
Was Sweet Chuck,
Wow.
and then Sweatmouth, depending on what how we felt that day.
God.
Boy, he had a rough go then.
And Dan, you
Feel
might have
horrible
met
for
him.
that guy.
Dan might
Yeah.
have met him the one semester he was there.
Yeah, I remember there was a jizz ear and there was a puke nose, but I don't remember a sweat mouth.
No Sweatmouth
No.
or no Sweet Chuck. He wasn't Sweatmouth at the time you were there. He was.
You know what? This is really coming back to me now. I met Sweet Chuck.
That's what I'm talking about. He wasn't Sweatmouth at the time.
I
He was
did
Sweet
meet
Chuck.
Sweet Chuck.
And then we'd call him. And then whenever we'd see him around the cafeteria, we'd call him Sweets for short. Hey, what's up, Sweets?
That's classy.
You could call him Sweats, Sweets, do whatever.
Sweet mouth.
It's Sweats.
Sweets. We call him Sweets. Sweet Chuck.
Oh, that's good.
Chuck mouth.
Oh, and you'd go into that.
Mouth Chuck.
You
mouth
would
Chuck.
go into that cafeteria too. You'd go, for that meal plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would go in there and you just tear apart that buffet. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder
You would
everybody had
get it.
swamp ass and a big buffet like that.
Oh.
Dorm butt.
Oh.
Dorm butt.
But you would just
So
go.
disgusting.
You would go bananas in that place. You would just load up.
Yeah.
And then on the way out, you'd stop by the sandwich making area, and you'd just grab a bunch of ham and take it back to the dorm, and because about an hour and a half, you're going to be cooking ramen noodles on the hot plate,
Yeah.
and you'd chop up the ham and you'd throw it in there.
Take a bunch of sloppy Joe and put it in the waffle iron.
Yeah.
Invent a new food.
What oh god,
Oh my
this was a
God.
disaster. Yeah, so sweats and
Yeah, that
sweets.
school sucked.
So wait, okay, yeah. So Jake and Elwood, they're doing their little Warner Brothers cartoon sort of soft shoe tiptoe thing, but they're tiptoeing around this cop who's like sort of snoozing against the pillar there.
Mhm.
And why are they? We know that like every cop in the state is after them, but do they know that?
No,
Why are they being careful around the cop right now? Is it just? I mean, I guess they know that some police somewhere, like in Park Ridge or something, are mad at them for trashing a mall.
Right. I mean,
But like,
maybe they
and
figured
I
there's
guess they're
yeah.
like they skipped out on that speeding
Scamods.
driving through the red light. They got the
Yeah,
squads
I think
read out
there's
on them and stuff.
I just think that the two of them, there's a general worry around cops every time they're around police
Yeah.
officers. I think
Yeah,
they're
There
just,
that's
could be an
fair.
all points bulletin out for them,
right.
Yeah, but would they know that? I mean, we know that like everybody, like the Nazis and the cops and everybody are after them, the good old boys. But yeah, they don't know that necessarily.
Yeah. We got
I
an
think they know
APB
enough. I think
out
they know,
on
yeah.
two extremely white males,
Mhm.
matching
Yeah.
suits,
Yeah, playing very bland blues music.
sunglasses,
Yeah.
about to do
Yeah.
a turnaround check. Over and
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, duping 5,000 people out of their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Play some covers, maybe two if they're lucky.
How much does it cost to get into this review? I forgot.
That's a
I don't know
lot.
if they
'cause
ever
they
said
said
that,
that's
did
I think they said something about $2 or something like that.
Huh?
I don't know. Or look on
It's gotta be
the,
at
on the
least
poster.
that because Maurice Line is like the place seats 5,000. So if you pack that place, you'll break 5,000 easy. So it's got to be more than $1 or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
what
I'm
would
just-
it make
I'm just
sense for a
amazed.
concert to cost around those days? I think it would be more like $5.
Maybe.
I would think so. That's not a lot to ask for a show.
Not not. It'd be like 1/3 of what it is now. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Must have been some time to be alive when all you needed was one day to promote a show that's going to seat 5,000 people, and you pack the place.
Yeah, and people are
Maybe
so
hear some
hungry for
generic
blues.
entertainment that
Yeah.
they're just waiting for a concert like this to fall into their laps.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. Hey, there's a show. I read about it in the bathroom wall on the over the urinal.
You
All right,
say,
let's go.
what?
I
There's a
guess.
show? Count me in.
Mhm.
I'm a little less depressed now.
Yeah. I mean, is that how
Let's
life
go.
was back then? And we just so much busier now? Like, if you said to me, hey,
think
Dan, let's
so.
go to a concert, it would have to be like 3 months in advance to even have a hope.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot's
Right.
got to be aligned. You can't just buy the tickets
Absolutely.
anymore and just show up. Your whole life's
Yeah.
got to be aligned.
Yeah.
And there's just so much entertainment inertia that you have to get past. Like, I don't know. I could go to a show, or I could finish watching the entire season of the show that I got
Right.
into.
Right.
Our lives
You know.
got to. I mean, my life's got to align just to get to therapy every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how,
It's
like,
just like-
You're
now
gonna add
you're like-
fun to my plate? No thanks.
you're like playing a
Yeah.
video game and there's some like stage you have to get past and everything has to go perfectly. And if you get it, if
yeah.
it doesn't work, you have to go back to the start.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
going out to a concert is like getting through that.
Mhm.
I mean, it has to go
Yeah.
on the first try. That has to go right.
Right.
Otherwise, you're done.
There's no do-overs.
Yeah.
Right. The
Yeah.
proverbial Frogger log will hit you in the
Oh, we used
fucking
to do
head
that.
when you're trying to go out to a concert.
I remember that kid Frogger Log.
We used
He's an
to
Frogger log.
asshole.
Yeah. Sweat mouth.
That's when a
Frogger
frog
log.
fell into his log.
All
Remember
right.
that kid shit out a frog? We called him Frogger Log.
Oh yeah, I remember old Frogger log. Also called him
Sweat Chuck.
Sweat Chuck and Alfalfa.
Sweat Chuck. No, there was. We used to do that with that game Pitfall. Remember Pitfall or Montezuma's Revenge?
Oh, sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Montezuma's Revenge was one. So you would have
Another
to map
name for
it out.
swamp ass, by the way.
Well, that's what it
That's
is.
thank you.
That's
Yeah.
the beauty of that. But they would, but you would have to play it as with a partner because the partner would sit there with a spiral notebook and write down all the
The patterns.
the patterns. And
Oh
then,
my God.
Then you would blow it, and then it would be like 1:00 in the morning, and you take a break to watch the Ghoul Show. Remember the Ghoul Show, Dan?
He was the ghoul.
He was the ghoul, and he'd be like this. He would have he had like a monocle, or he had one, and he had a top hat, and he would show like
Sounds ridiculous.
it would show like really bad horror movies, and they would make comments over it, kind of like Mystery
Yeah.
Science Theater. But like during the breaks, he would like blow things up, and he would have like he was the ghoul. We'll post.
Yeah.
It was a Detroit thing, I think. It
I
was
do
a
remember
Detroit,
that. Yeah, and I think
wow.
it was on. Yeah, I remember that was on one of the UHF channels. I think.
yeah, it was like
20.
Svengali.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
or Svengoolie.
It was an amazing show in
Svengoolie.
Cleveland in like the early 90s or late 80s or something, or maybe even earlier, called Video Psychotherapy. It's really nuts. Like it's like a ventriloquist dummy with like shades and some like light creepy jazz playing behind him, and he spouts some sort of, some philosophy at you or something, and then they cut away to like just like really rapid fire cuts of like real like gore and violence from movies and stuff, and they cut back to him and he's creepy for a while, and they cut back to it's just like a mess, and then you just like find it in the middle of the night and you're like, oh no, am I actually watching this?
Yeah,
Oh no,
Huh.
I'm probably crazy, right? I guess I've gone crazy. Oh, that sucks. My life is over. Oh
well,
well.
that was like the UHF type shows in local markets.
Oh,
Then they
That
had
was
the Saturday Shocker. Remember, Dan? They would have.
No, I don't
And it
remember
would
that
show-
one.
You remember that?
I wasn't at home eating snakeums on a Saturday night. I had stuff
Aw.
to do, man. I was
Oh,
out
all right,
in the
whatever.
town, meet some ladies.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Look
whatever.
at Dan go.
Yeah. That really worked out for you.
Latchkey kids. That
Yeah.
really worked out
It's
for
awfully smooth.
That really worked out for you. Both in the same
Yeah.
boat.
you.
Hey, are you guys extremely glad that we got that extra scene earlier in the movie to explain why Elwood has this really powerful glue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you know.
Suddenly,
This is
yeah,
glue.
now
And
you
now
know.
I know.
Strong stuff.
I know we said it at the time when that scene was on, and you see him at the factory and stuff. But the fact that you see Elwood's eyes at all in this movie
Yeah,
is really a bad thing.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a
it's
bad
not
move.
good.
Nobody should watch the extended movie.
I don't like him to have a job or any of that stuff.
No.
He's a ne'er-do-well.
Right.
Yeah. And he's got shades. You see Jake's eyes once, pointedly, in this movie.
He's a sleaze.
And that's the way you do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Eh.
There's also the part where, earlier on in the scene where they're in that like underground area, that under the bridge there. And then he just, in case everyone forgot, he walks you through the plot of the film real quick.
He does. Yeah. It's like the third time in the movie.
He goes, we got to get this money to the assessor's office before so-and-so a.m. before they close the orphanage.
Yeah.
Right.
So
like,
get over your night train blues.
Yeah.
Get yourself straight. We got to, we owe that Cook County assessor's office a lot of money for that tax, God damn it.
Or else they'll close the orphanage and we'll not be,
God damn it.
Well, maybe that's kind of the joke, kind of like the whole them against the world and the forces of evil is all these people are chasing them and all they want to do is just get the money to the assessor's office.
They're trying to do something really nice and selfless. They're trying so hard. They're doing it their way, which causes a lot of damage and destruction.
Right.
God bless them.
right.
You got the entire state and Chicago Police Department. You got the Nazis, and you got the good old boys chasing them. And all they want to do is just give their money to...
You got the bi-state cops of Indiana and Illinois.
Yeah, they just want to get the money to... They want to get the money to the assessor's office to Steven Spielberg there.
Yeah, they just want to meet Steven Spielberg so that Dan Aykroyd can be in Temple of Doom for a minute or two.
Right.
That's all they want.
Nothing wrong with that.
Is that so much to ask?
No.
All right, okay.
Crying out loud. There's another cut thing here where Jake, Elwood, like, I don't know, he injects some other kind of gas into the tires of the police cars and says something about that it'll expand real quick or something.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't remember if that pays off or not.
I don't remember.
But since it's here and since it's new, I need to be annoyed by it. I will say it's nice in the extended version that there's a lot more Cab Calloway. There's a lot more. The Minnie, the Moocher is like I think like a verse longer or something.
Oh, is that right?
So that's kind of nice. Yeah.
You get a few more Skiddly D's.
Yeah, and I think you get like a full. I think that I could be wrong, but I think that Cokie verse is not in the regular movie.
Cokie.
Maybe. Yeah. So you've been treated to Cokie.
Yeah.
Cookie
Well, there's
Roberts.
always those are the part during the Skiddly Doos, and he goes into the one that they can't really follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I remember just
And they
always
love
being there's this one, but no, there's like this really white guy with a mustache, and he just kind of looks at him, and you could see the whole crowd, but I always zeroed in on him. And he just throws his hands at him like, come on, I can't do that.
Oh, I'm
not Cab Calloway. How am I supposed to do this?
Right.
I'm just some white guy
Go
from
on.
I'm just some white guy from from Lake Wazapamonte. I can't do that.
You got my $5. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does it with a smile on his face, like, you got me.
Yeah. Like he did a magic trick or something.
Mhm.
How does he
Get
do
out of
it?
here.
How does he say
Get
Skilly Soup? Oh yeah. Okay. Like in the extra scene with the inserting the stuff in the tires and stuff, Elwood goes on this like really technobabble explanation of what the stuff is. And I realized I wonder if that's sort of Dan Aykroyd's thing, because he's sort of like Elwood and is he Stans in Ghostbusters? Is that his name?
Stans. Yeah, that's right. That sounds right.
Yeah. They're kind of the same in some way. Like they're the ones who have like the kind of, science-y, techno-y babble kind of, info nerd dumps every once in a while.
Right.
Many shoves and zools and all that.
Yeah. Shows and Zools, I can tell you.
And Dan Aykroyd wrote both of those. So it's like,
Huh.
I think that kind of is him, maybe. He might be like that kind of weirdo, that kind of like fact nerd or something.
Yeah.
What do you call those fact nerds? Intelligent
I think
people?
It's
Yeah.
just nerds. Yeah.
Brainiacs? Yeah.
Poindexter.
Just plain old nerds. Poindexter. Yeah. Know-it-all, four eyes, brainiac. Yeah.
Are we going to do trivia or?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my gosh, of course we're going to do
Get out of here.
Of course. Get out of here. Dan, you had something to share with us, didn't you?
I could do
trivia-wise?
trivia if you want.
Well, sure. I mean, you've been doing a really good job lately.
Well, as long as it's not shtickia, right?
It's not-
So trivia, it's shtickia.
Is
You're not
that
going to
a
go
new
into some
word,
shtick, are you?
stickia?
Not gonna put your mom on, are you?
No. Oh, I
No.
see.
Is your mom there
Yeah.
again? She's gonna do trivia.
Oh, my own
Mhm.
mother. The woman's a saint.
I want to apologize, by the way. It took Dan Lewis off the air after our last episode to point out to me that I didn't respond at all to the Douglases being in the second question, and that I didn't
Yeah,
blurt out
those
hooray for
questions
the
were
Douglases or
specifically
anything.
tailored in order to
Yeah.
get the response, hooray for the Douglases.
Hooray for the Douglases!
But it didn't
Yeah.
work for either one of you.
Yeah.
The
No.
Douglas family dog. Well, hooray for the Douglases.
Hooray
And
for
the other one, the
Douglases.
answer
Next
was
question.
Scut. And I don't know if anybody mentioned
Scott.
that one.
Yeah,
Who responded to
no,
that?
They got it. Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard
Yeah,
it yet because
Tom
my
Hanks.
mom was
we
doing
were
it,
on.
not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
All right,
No,
That's
the
next
Douglases got
episode, I
past
think.
we'll
us.
do 3 questions.
all right, let's get this going.
This is a part 3 now.
All
Tell
right.
me, what kind of questions do you want for the first one? What kind of question?
What are the options? Is this trivia
Well, you
pursuit?
got geography, entertainment, history, arts and literature, science and nature, and sports and leisure.
I always like the entertainment. I feel like I do well at entertainment.
All right, let's stick with entertainment only.
All
Who
right.
portrayed Benny Goodman in the Benny Goodman story?
Oh,
Jimmy Stewart.
That's right. I think that's
Was it-
right.
God,
no,
I'm good.
Steve Allen.
Shut
Oh,
up. What?
God, it's Steve Allen.
It's not Steve Allen. The Benny Goodman
I
story?
don't know. Let's look this
Oh,
up.
I'm thinking of the Glenn Miller story.
Oh,
You son
Glenn
of a
Miller,
bitch.
right. You
God
blew
damn
it.
God damn it.
God damn it!
I blew it. Son of a bitch. Steve Allen.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
Keep
let's...
going. Keep going.
Oh, entertainment. Okay, all right. What was the secret identity of the Shadow?
Oh, Lamont. His name was Lamont.
Lamont
Cranston?
Cranston.
How
Unbelievable.
the fuck do I know that?
How do
Jesus
you,
Christ.
How do you know
How the
that?
hell do I know that? I only
That's
know
a
that his first name was
Poindexter.
Lamont because I made that joke in the theater and my friend laughed.
Lamont.
I said Lamont like Red Fox and he laughed.
Lamont
That was
Cranston.
great.
Unbelievable
Lamont
job
Cranston.
answering that one. Okay.
Wow. Take that,
Question
Steve
number
Allen.
3, entertainment. What musical were John Goodman and William Forsythe watching in Raising Arizona?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
excellent cereal flakes.
It's a great
Yeah, they're
cereal
watching
flakes.
the
Mr.
excellent
McDonough.
cereal flake hour.
And South
God.
Pacific.
Well-
I'd easily say South Pacific. They're sitting there and you see them on they're watching the TV and they're nonplussed.
They're drinking beer.
Yeah. Is that actually like a clear identifiable musical?
I don't know, but there's your answer for one of our patrons,
Ooh.
Eric. I think he's a patron. I don't know. Yeah, he's a
You
patron.
better be.
There's
Questions like
an
this.
answer for him. He wanted to know what musical were Gail and Evel watching. He
Yeah.
says it keeps him up at night because he gets the song stuck in his head all the time when he's working.
Oh my God.
So I'll have to go give it another listen and see if I can do it. But
Oh man.
the internet is not helping, so perhaps a listener knows.
Yeah, let's throw this to the Blues Brothers listeners hole.
Get on the job,
Anybody
nerdlingers.
chime in there, please. If you know the answer, help a friend, help a fellow listener
Help
out.
a fellow patron out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if
God's
if
sake.
if it is a fellow patron, that means you're a patron, and special thanks to you,
Yeah.
patrons.
We apologize for letting you down so far
Mm.
without the the answer that you're looking for.
All right.
Now we want to know. Your problem is our problem. We want to know the answer too.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
I guess that was trivia.
Yeah.
Huh? All right.
All
All
right.
right. Well,
Well, hey, listen. Speaking
we-
of Patreon,
Yep,
speaking of
yep.
patrons, we should
Yeah.
thank our
Sure.
patrons. Are you trying to say something, Mike, or are you just sort of making sounds?
No, I'm just saying.
All right.
I think I've hit
Yes,
my.
of course.
I think I've hit my wall. Like I just got really tired all of a sudden.
That's fair. No, you raced here to get here to do the show. You,
Yeah.
you need to have a little lie down.
And I brought the
Take a
heat
little nappy
right off
naps.
the bat. I came in with that great observation, beautiful
You
observation.
did. You brought it.
And I told a couple stories. I brought the heat right off the bat.
yep. You came in like a house of fire. You came in with the blazing left hand speed off the bench.
Hmm Yeah, I got those
Nebraska
3
Farm
strikes that you
Dancing.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Let's do the Patreon.
All right. We want to thank our beautiful patrons by the names of Mark Mavora, Captain America, Snoke Porterhouse,
Snoke
Pork
Porterhouse.
Snorterhouse, Matt Carson, Scott Bishop,
Pork
Private
Shithead
Pile,
House.
and Bill Turner. Thank all you wonderful people.
Yeah.
And if you out there,
Jizzy Jizz House.
non-patrons, want to become a patron, support the show, help us out, become one of the more special people out there, just head over to patreon.com/ditchdiggers. And for a whatever recurring monthly donation you want to make, you'll get different bonuses and benefits and
Now,
our love.
Am I on the hook for a
Benefits.
postcard or something? What am I supposed to do with this?
You are free and clear so far. You don't have to. We do have a level there where we'll send you a postcard. We'll send you a postcard every month if you want.
But nobody wants to go to that level yet.
Nobody
right?
has signed up for that yet because they I think they've gotten enough of us.
I
They
write
get enough of us once a week in their
great
ears.
postcard.
Yeah, I do too.
Kind of transcendent.
You are missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see what you can do. Patreon.com/ditchdiggers.
And if
What?
if you go to another level, then Dan will scratch a message into a record, an LP, and send it to you.
Yeah. B3.
Yeah, I'll start up a game of
That's what it'll be.
correspondence battleship with you.
He'll scratch into a record. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
To which you will say,
Be sure
crummy
to
commercial?
drink your Ovaltine.
Son of
of
a
a
Crummy
bitch.
commercial.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
oh no. Oh no. All right, everybody.
All right, I'm going to bed.
Hey, before you go, head over to iTunes. It occurs to me that a lot of you have followed us over from the Caddyshack Minute, where you left a beautiful review for us on iTunes. But now that we're a new show, we could use some more reviews over there. So please head over to iTunes, look up the Blues Brothers Minute, rate us, review us, and subscribe over there so that the computer will think that we're cool.
Go
We
on,
just want the
smartass,
computer
and do
more than
it.
anybody to think that we're cool. Just go on, smartass, and do it.
Yeah.
And do all that and come back next time
Right.
for the next couple of minutes of this movie that we call The Blues Brothers here on the Blues Brothers Minute.
Put that in our review.
Hey, you scratched my ankle!